afternoon. It's Tim from C&D Farms. So I'm gonna go out here. My daughter is screaming and hollering at the goats. So let's see if we can get some film and see what she's doing. So all right, I'm gonna turn the camera around now. What are you doing, Allison?
I gotta move the thingy.
Oh. You can't really see her in there, but the hog is giving her a fit.
Stop it.
Let's see if we can get a picture of the hog. So,
No.
all right.
There. Eat that food. Not my finger. No. No, don't you dare get out.
So,
Ow, no. No, ma'am.
anyway, this is
No. Stop it.
Alan. All right, yeah, this Allison playing with the hogs there. So hopefully we will be able to put that in the freezer at some point. One of the things with the COVID-19, all of our livestock shows and everything got canceled. So now we've got two goats that are wethers that we're going to probably sell them, or we may keep them a little around through the summer and see what they are as pets. But usually I try to keep the goats and everything. We want to have a purpose for them. So wethers, they're good if you've got some small billies, or bucks, I should say, bucks, and you need to separate them from the rest of the herd when they get of age. It's good sometimes to put a wether with them. That way they don't feel alone and they got that herd, still have a little bit of a herd. So that's kind of one of the things that we're doing, trying to get ready and getting ready for the possible move that'll be happening, and we'll start construction on the new part. Here, Allie, shut the gate right there. So what are you putting in the water there, Allison?
Apple cider vinegar.
Yeah, we're putting a little bit of apple cider vinegar in the water. That's something we started doing. That's from some of our YouTubers that we've seen and done some research on it. And we put a little bit of apple cider vinegar in the goat's water. And so far it looks like it's they like it. They don't really complain about it. We even do it for the dogs and the hog as well. So put a little bit of apple cider vinegar in all of their water. So anyway, just to give you another little update, one of the things that we're going to start working on, I done a video the other day, but something happened to it. I wasn't able to get it off my phone, and I finally broke down, and this is the first video with a newer camera and a newer mic. Right now I'm using a Joby Gorilla Pod to hold it, so hopefully this video will be a little better, and I'm gonna have to get used to some of the settings. This is kind of out of the box settings. I got a Canon M50, so it's kind of reasonable, and I've got a Rode microphone on top of it. Before I was using my iPhone a lot, and I had a external mic, so we'll see how this one comes. So and I wanted to kind of redo some of the information that I talked about in that other video on my phone, that's kind of in reference to today. One of the things that I talked about just a few minutes ago was the fact that we had to cancel the livestock show, or they canceled the livestock show, both the livestock and the dairy show that we participate in, because of this virus. And that was one of the things that I wanted to talk about. Some of y'all may know, and my family does know, that I'm an emergency manager for a city, and for the last 3 weeks, it's pretty much all I've dealt with is COVID-19 and trying to make the right decisions for our city, trying to make the right decisions for our public safety people that are out there in the field each and every day. So from my point of view, some people don't take it serious, some taking it very serious. My point of view is we do need to do the social distancing. We do need to make sure that we're kind of following the guidelines of the CDC. And that's not me just saying that because I'm emergency manager. That's because I believe it, I see it. I've seen the cases. I have people that I know personally that have come down with this, and one of them right now is currently on a ventilator and is in a fight for his life. So when it's real to you, that's when things change. Sometimes we see stuff overseas, we see stuff in other states, and you know, it's not really real to us. We see it, but it doesn't really happen to us. When it happens to you or happens to somebody that you know personally, it becomes real. So you know, take the local government's advice, do your social distancing, and maybe we can get this thing done. Right now in our state, it's projected, the peak is not projected until mid-May. But if we can do that social distancing, we can do that to flatten that curve that they're talking about, then maybe that peak will come back towards the 1st of May or come back into April. So, you know, that's one of the things that I wanted to talk about. And the other thing, you know, not to make the video too long, is I'm a person of faith, and one of the things that I enjoy a lot is going to my church and being with other like-minded other Christians, and you know, we can't do that right now. So we're resorting to live streaming. We're coming up with new ways using products out there called Zoom. Man, people in our church didn't know what Facebook Live was until 2 weeks ago, and what Zoom was, and now that's how we're having to have our church service. And you know, so in my faith, I feel like that God will be with us, and God is going to protect us. And some may say, well, why hadn't God fixed this? Well, God will fix it when He's ready. Our problem as humans and people is we want everything on our timeline, and sometimes we just have to let God's plan work out. And for some that maybe not family, don't know me, you know, you may not like that, or may not agree with me, and that's fine. You know, I just, that's my faith, and that's what I believe in, and I feel like this is when God's plan is for this to go away. We're going to come out of it stronger. We're going to come out of it learning new things, and you know, that's where we'll be. And I also think that our country may come together a little more, because everybody's back at the supper table. Maybe we'll have some, you know, people that are able to back communicating. Families are back together because they're being forced to. They're having to, you know, sit at home, and so maybe things will get better in this country because the family unit is coming back together. And I think a lot of this, and the reason I say this is, you know, with this homesteading that we're going to do, you know, that's what it's all about. It's all coming back and living off the land, living to as a family unit, growing your own food, being self-sustained, and not rely on so much outside resources. And that's kind of my goal. That's what I want to get to. We're not there yet, by no means. We've got a lot to do before we get to that point, and I hope that we can. And in the near future, and that's the good news. So we kind of had the little doom and gloom there, and let me get out of that sun. We had a little bit of a doom and gloom there, but the good news is we sold the other side of our the old farm, the farm that my mother and my grandmother and my grandfather, who passed away before I was born, we sold that, and we had sold one part. You'd seen that in the other video, and what that means is we are now 100% going towards building our new homestead on the property at the other location. So we are hardcore looking at whether we want a modular or whether we want a stick built. One video passed that I pretty much said that I wanted probably going to do a modular, and then the last video I kind of backed off of that statement a little bit. I'm still kind of leaning more 85% that we're going to do a modular. I'm not going to say it's 100% because we're still looking, but I will say that we got some plans. We're talking. I've talked to the contractor to build the road. We've got that coming. Hopefully I'll definitely get some video out there of them building the road, and maybe I can get some content of more than me just sitting here. I'm gonna kind of open this video up. You'll see it. I'm gonna start working on some of our raised beds even here, and hopefully this weekend I'm gonna start looking at some plans for some chicken coops here. But this COVID-19 has consumed me. So anyway, that's the end of this video. Hopefully I'll get some more out. My video a week, that just really messed up. The events of the world have really changed that, and there's been many a night I come home from work and I go right to another computer after supper and rest a little bit, and I'm reading, I'm sending out emails, I'm getting information. So it's the last 3 weeks have been just 100% consumed by this COVID-19. So hopefully I'm not on call this weekend, and I'm gonna enjoy some of the weekend. This is Friday, I just got home from work, so I'm gonna try to get this video posted. Also playing with this new camera too. Anyway, I want to thank all of y'all that do watch, family and friends. I know I'm a goofball sometimes doing the videos. Y'all may think so, but you know, one day you may look at it and say, hey, that's pretty neat. So it does get me out of my comfort zone. I feel like I'm getting a little better every day. Every time I do a video, it's awkward talking to this camera. So anyway, I will see y'all on the next video. Until then, be safe, stay isolated, do that social distancing, get outside. It's not something we can't get outside, but you know, big groups and gatherings, that's just not a good idea right now. So but anyway, y'all have a good week, and we'll see you at the next video.